Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Isela here with the Truck Boss Show, here with our friend Landon.
How's it going?
Going good, ready to do this.
Absolutely, we've got an awesome action-packed show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, always exciting, a lot of good information.
And I always enjoy being next to you.
You have no choice.
I know, that is very true. Plus you're bilingual, I learn a lot, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
You're going to be saying, hola muchachas.
So, hey, thanks for not beating me up too much, but hey, we want you to get a part of this conversation. Like, comment, and share. We have a lot to talk about. We always like to start at the top of this program when it comes to the latest news. So, Isela, why don't you kick it off?
Of course, I do have good news, and I'm going to start with two drivers who were recognized as highway angels for helping a stranded colleague. Shannon Currier, Director of Philanthropy and Development of St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund, great organization. She was on her way to Matt's earlier this year, gets a flat tire. She turns around and says, God, let me call my husband. Calls him, hey, give me the AAA information. It was lapsed. So what did she do? She thought quick, called her friend Scott Wagner, who turned around and called Robert Barnett, and they drove 38 miles to go help her. Once they arrived, they switched the tire to the spare. Not only that, they turned around and still followed her to go get her tire replaced. Well, now they've been recognized by the TCA for their willingness, and their employers as well for having awesome employees. So now they are highway angels.
That's awesome.
I think that's awesome.
Absolutely, and this is so important here at the Truck Boss Show, Isela. As you know, we always love to be able to share the positive side of trucking. So much happens every single day that we never even know. And so big thank you to you guys. Awesome story.
Yes.
We're going to throw that into the comment thread so you can be a part of it, read even more details.
Oh, yeah.
And we also, if you have a story that you want us to be able to cover on this show, put it in the comment thread because, again, so much happens every single day.
There's so much that our drivers out there do that is it's appreciated because
Absolutely.
Without them, we have nothing.
Drivers are so generous. Great story,
Yes.
Isela. Moving on, this is very important. I want you to pay attention to this. 1 week remaining, actually just a few days remaining, to comment on pilot program for under 21 interstate truckers. As many of you know, not too long ago, FMCSA launched a public comment thread to be able to talk to people about those that are under 21 with military experience, but this one is those who are under 21 to be able to drive that have non-military experience. And so you have till next Monday, July 15th, to be able to share your public comment, and we need you to do it because this is very important. In some ways, Isela, it's controversial. Those who are 18 to 20, do they have the right to drive? Is it safe? Is it insurable? How do you regulate it? Very important.
It is an important topic, but you know what? There's a saying in Spanish, el que no habla, Dios no lo ayuda. So basically saying, hey, if you're not going to speak your mind, say it now, because if not, nobody's going to hear you. Nobody's ever going to hear that comment, that thought, whatever your experience or however you feel about the situation. So you might as well do something about it now.
So go to the Federal Register. We're going to put that in the comment thread so you can just click, share your comment. Isela, what's disappointing, to be honest with you, my personal opinion, only a few hundred people have actually shared their comment. We need this to be several thousand.
Yes, we need
people.
Everyone to get involved.
Absolutely. Not just drivers, not just stakeholders, but also the public.
Yes.
And so share this video, get a part of it. You have till Monday to knock this out.
Yes.
It's going to close after that.
Time is ticking, so get to it.
Absolutely. So let us know what you think about it in the comment thread. Share this, let others know as well. But we have an action-packed, we have so much to talk about when it comes to these segments. So why don't you launch the first one?
Yes. Now moving on to Dr. Dixon with the importance and the process of the DOT physical. A lot of questions that you might have, but you know what? Here's Dr. Dixon to explain all that good stuff to you.
Hey everyone, Niki here with the Truck Boss Show. We are joined by our good friend, Dr. Dixon, a certified medical examiner, a registered dietitian, as well as a chiropractor with the Drivers Health Clinic out of Wildwood, Florida. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Dixon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. So I know that on our past shows, we've talked about tons of stuff when it comes to health and wellness. Today, we're going to talk about DOT physical. I'm just going to dive right in. What is all involved with a DOT physical?
So DOT physicals are my bread and butter. This is what I do all day long. That's why I'm in the truck stop. So a DOT physical makes sure that all of your major organ systems are functioning properly. You can see as you drive down the road. It's pretty important. You can hear as you drive down the road. Also very important. Checking your urinalysis to make sure that you're not diabetic and your blood sugars aren't all over the place and you're not going to pass out. Listening to your heart and your lungs, and then making sure that your blood pressure is good.
Nice. How would you recommend drivers prepare for the DOT physical?
First, try not to stress out. I know I'm saying that, but try not to stress out. Go somewhere that makes you comfortable, like a truck stop. Come see me. But make sure you're well rested the night before. Don't drink a bunch of coffee. I realize my smokers want to smoke before they walk through the door, but it causes vasoconstriction, and even though you think it's calming you down, it's spiking your blood pressure. So don't smoke before you walk through the door. Lay off any of the caffeine, and, again, just try and come in calm. There are a few breathing techniques out there. And if you slow yourself down, think happy thoughts, but if you can count to 10 and you breathe in for 4 and out for 6, actually exhaling longer than you inhale, it affects your CO2 level and will actually help calm you down and bring your blood pressure down. I do it with my drivers all the time.
So, according to some talk in the industry, many drivers are failing their physical and are trying to find a doctor to just pass them so that they can get their medical card. Are you seeing or having these requests?
Oh yeah, I hear it all the time. Unfortunately, I think the current fact is somewhere of 70% of our drivers are not on a 2-year card. Okay, you have to be healthy to be on a 2-year card. Here's the thing. If you're coming in and you think that you're just going to lie to your physician, right, and we're just going to sign off on your card, the problem lays on you, right? So if your blood pressure is good, but you're on blood pressure meds and you didn't disclose that, and you're not spilling sugar in your urinalysis and you're diabetic, but you didn't disclose that, or you're on CPAP and you didn't tell us, and we put you on a 2-year card. Let's say you go out and you get in a wreck, which is horrible, right? But they research that, right? So they're going to pull your record. They care, and you signed on there that you fully disclosed everything. So that's no longer on my side if everything I saw was good. That's on you for being disloyal or dishonest. And the problem is then all of that comes back on you, and that's a big problem that you lied to your physician when needing that. The other thing is most of the problems can be solved with a 1-year card and being monitored. People think, well, I can't be diabetic. Well, you can. We just want you to be healthy, right? We want you to be followed up. So as long as you're doing all those things that you're supposed to do, there's ways that we can work with you to keep you on the road the way you're supposed to be. We're not out there to pull your med card. At least most of us aren't. So, we're not out there for that. We want to keep you healthy, and we want to keep you on the road together so that we can keep you all running.
Well, if any of our drivers out there are interested in coming to see you to get their DOT physical, where can they find you?
I would love that. No appointments are needed. Just come see me. I'm inside the TA in Wildwood on exit 329 Highway 75. You can also find me on Facebook under Drivers Health Clinic. My website is drivershealthclinic.com. You can call me 352-643-1034, and you can email me at drdixon@drivershealthclinic.com.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Dr. Dixon, she knows what she's talking about. Heed her warning. Prepare for that physical because it's something you have to do. It's not avoidable. Just do the right thing and you'll be good to go. So once again, thank you again, Dr. Dixon. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us and enlighten all those drivers out there.
Thanks so much.
No problem. See you on the next Truck Boss Show.
A big thanks to Dr. Dixon. Landon, it is so important for our drivers to be healthy and to be able to pass everything, all the requirements that is required for the DOT.
No, absolutely. I mean, you see on social media all the time, those who fail a DOT physical don't get their medical card. And so now there's comments about how to go about doing that. A lot of people are tempted to skew the system a little bit, but with Dr. Dixon, she shares you don't have to do that. Here's what you need to be prepared for so you can keep your medical card.
Very simple, because it's hard for them to even get that card again. It's not easy. So if you really want to stay on the road, listen to what Dr. Dixon had to say.
Absolutely. It's incredible to know that we have that resource here at Truck Boss Show at any time to be able to bring this important information to you. So
tell us what you got.
And this is awesome. Andrea Marks, Director of Communication for Trucker Nation. I had the privilege of being able to sit down with her and do a Skype interview about the 4 important public comment threads that are open right now. It's amazing that HOS, hours of service, has been an important topic, but these are just as important. Check out this important interview and get a part of the conversation. How's it going, everybody? Landon with the Truck Boss Show. Thank you so much for joining us on this special segment of our Truck Boss Show. Honored to be next to my friend, someone I've gotten to know a lot. We've done a lot on the show, Miss Andrea Marks, Director of Communication for Trucker Nation. Andrea, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're diving into a very important topic here. We only have a few minutes. I wish we had 15, 30 minutes, but there are important things that are happening that may be overlooked because everybody's paying attention to hours of service. And now they're missing out on opportunities where their voice can be heard. So there are several open comment threads that are happening right now in the Federal Register that drivers, those stakeholders in the industry need to be engaged in. So without further ado, can you share those four, a brief description, and the time frame by which their voice can be heard?
So there are 4 public comment periods that are open right now. The first one is a public comment period that is asking if the FMCSA should engage in another pilot program that would allow drivers that are under 21 years old without military experience to engage in interstate commerce. So this comment period is actually only open until July 15th. So that's right around the corner. That's Monday. There's not many comments on it right now. And this is really just a conversation starter. This is non-rulemaking. This is the agency saying, hey, should we consider doing a pilot program? So number 2 is the comment period that's open in regard to automated driving systems or autonomous vehicles. The agency is asking about testing these autonomous vehicles out on public roadways, and that comment period is set to close on July 29th. So we have a little bit longer, the end of the month, and there has been an extension, a request for an extension on that particular comment period, but we have seen the agency be a little stingy with awarding those because they want to ensure that they're staying with their progressive approach to getting these comment periods opened and closed quickly. Number 3 is a request for information concerning detention times. Now, I know there is not a driver out there, maybe some livestock haulers, but that aside, there's not a driver out there that has not experienced issues with detention time. This is an issue that has been, my words, exploited by the implementation of ELDs and the exploitation of hours of service. There are driver forums out there that are dedicated to talking about detention times. You could ask any driver out there, what is your worst experience sitting in a dock waiting to be loaded or unloaded, and they wouldn't hesitate 1 second to tell you that nightmare story that they have. Now, there are some very specific questions that the agency is asking, 7 to be exact. An organization or a driver or an industry stakeholder can answer one or all of those 7 questions, or they can just provide their experiences. The interesting part about this particular comment period is it's just a conversation starter. It's non-rulemaking. It's the agency saying, hey, we know that you have the information that we don't have because we're not truck drivers. So they're just asking for information, and I sure hope that drivers decide that it's time to make a comment about this and maybe use their voices to move that regulatory dial. So number 4 is an exemption request that UPS, or the United Parcel Service, has submitted asking to be exempt from 2 very specific sections of the new driver training requirements that are set to come out in February 2020. So they want to continue using driver trainers that have less than 2 years of experience, and they do not want to have to register each one of their training locations on the training provider registry. So this is a really interesting topic, and one that I believe drivers should be very, very interested in making a comment on, because it could be an interesting landscape, to say the least, an interesting precedent that could be set if this exemption request was to be granted. But we don't have time to delay on this because this exemption request comment period closes on July 19th. So that's the end of next week, and we really, really have to work hard to ensure that that these types of precedents aren't set, because we all know that training is a real issue in our industry.
Andrea, I can't thank you enough for diving into these 4 important topics, sharing specifically what they're about, as well as a time frame by which we have the opportunity to let our voices be heard across the industry. Drivers, you got to get a part of this. We're going to drop all the links in the comment thread so you can find the information very simply and take action immediately. On top of that, this is a segue into what we call Truck Boss Show Extras. Andrea has been so kind with her time, and with our entire team has dove much deeper into these topics, shared even more specifics. So be looking for those in our news feeds on Facebook, as well as on our feed on YouTube, Instagram, and more. Andrea, from all of us at the Truck Boss Show, big thank you as always, and we'll see you in the next segment. Huge thank you to Andrea Marks. Truly appreciate your insight, your wisdom, and all the things that you're doing. Isela, she's amazing. Love our partnership or friendship.
Of knowledge.
Absolutely.
A lot of knowledge.
If you want to learn more about all the op-eds that Andrea is writing, go to truckernation.org. We're going to throw all these important topics that she spoke about in the comment thread. Again, Isela, it's so important for people's voice to be heard. All these do not have near enough comments, and I get passionate about this because these are extremely important, and so many people are good at commenting on social media, but do not
where it needs to be.
Exactly.
So,
you know, it was funny, Andrea and I off air had a conversation to where I hope one day that social media comments can actually be a part of the comment thread.
Part of the comment.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome, but it is very important. Everyone who is out there who is watching this, please, if you want your voice to be heard, it is very important for you to do that now. Time is, it's limited. Time is ticking, and once they shut them down, they're done.
And what was cool is Andrea made it very clear what they are and when the time frame by which you can share your comment. Again, we're going to put all this in the comment thread, and it's amazing. We want to hear from you. Share this video when it comes to detention, how much money you're losing because of where you're stuck at unloading and loading. Talk about 21 and under. Talk about those who are actually, when it comes to UPS and more.
Yes, these are big topics, very important, and I've heard drivers talk about it throughout the years. This is your time.
Exactly.
This is your moment to shine.
And driver training that's coming up next year, February 2020. So all this is extremely important. We're going to keep it on the front lines right here at Truck Boss Show. But again, get engaged, let your voice be heard, and just don't post on social media.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
FMCSA website.
So, Isela, this is an amazing show, but before we shut it down, talk about Boss Nation.
Man, Boss Nation, behind the scenes, a lot of real stuff. We have raw conversations, and you get to see a little bit about what we get to do, but yet at the same time, we get real with you on important subjects, topics like we have today.
Absolutely, and it's entertaining.
Very much
you and
so.
Niki kind of do last time I heard or saw, you kind of were dancing. And so
we do a little something like, because we have fun.
Absolutely.
That's who we are.
And we get to do life with you on a different level other than the show. The membership is growing quickly. Few questions you have to answer.
Very easy.
So just request to be a part of it. We're going to read those questions and approve it and get a part of a new environment that you cannot experience anywhere else.
And we want you part of it.
Absolutely. So again, do it. Go to our Facebook page, request to be a part of the group. Isela, we have a big trip coming up, an awesome event we're going to cover. Can you share a little bit about that, even though you're not going to be there?
I won't get to be there. I know you guys are going to go to PA. It's going to be an awesome race. I will
That's
be supporting.
Pennsylvania, for those who don't know.
I will be supporting you guys from behind the scenes, but special assignment. And I look forward to everything that you guys are going to be bringing live because the Truck Boss Show always brings the good stuff.
So specifically, we're going to Pennsylvania into this month in July to be able to cover the Maple Grove Raceway, drag races, and more. We get behind the scenes of the event, get an awesome tour, meet the drivers. And if you can't make it, we're going to bring it to you live like we always do, like we did at the Bandit Series, which was a
so
blast.
much fun.
And so this is our first time at this event, but the people that we've been talking to, the leaders of this, the directors are just great people. They throw a great event, and we can't wait to bring it to you.
It's going to be awesome, exciting.
And so, as always, an awesome show. Thanks for not beating me up too much.
Next time.
And calling me co-host and all that kind of stuff. So we'll
just
see.
Wait.
Hey, as always, if you don't know why we do this,
Because you're the boss.